heaven. She soon echoed everywhere. General Hospital's Luke and Laura seemed to exist primarily to be confused with Luke and Leia. The dozens of cheapo Star Wars knockoff films all needed a sexy, dangerous princess, blaster at the ready. Halloween costumes for every long-haired woman on the planet were set. Word got out. Leia was cool. Yet she wasn't half as cool as Carrie Fisher. Star Wars creator George Lucas never wrote Leia as eye candy. Plenty of males would see her that way, but George wrote her as an adult in a room full of teenagers. This was despite Carrie actually being a teenager in a room full of adults. If Luke was the character in which George Lucas saw himself, Leia was the person he wanted to one day be. Strong, decisive, defiant, all in a compact frame. Carrie's life and Leia's spent the next 4 decades in an uncanny parallel. Her life, along with her iconic hairstyle, was dual role. Both had famous, and famously awful, dark and distant fathers. Both had big talents they hid from the world, and maybe even themselves. Both moved on from early rebellion into hard-fought wisdom. Both struggled with abuses of power. Both found huge but unheralded successes once they left the public eye. Both had those developments cut short by mercenary economics. Both were inspirations to generations of mothers and daughters, and fathers and sons not as girl-phobic as I apparently was. The most visible creators, poet Donna J. Smith said, are those artists whose medium is life itself, the ones who express the inexpressible without brush, hammer, clay, or guitar. They neither paint nor sculpt. Their medium is simply being. Whatever their presence touches has increased life. They see, but don't have to draw, because they are the artists of being alive. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, presenting the Carrie Fisher sentence. As you get older, the pickings get slimmer, but the people don't. This reminds me of that time I had déjà vu. Religion is the opiate of the masses. I did masses of opiates religiously. Whenever I start to talk, Harrison Ford gets nervous. What I look like now is not my fault. Years of living longer make you look worse. Who knew about that? If my life wasn't funny, it would just be true, and that would be unacceptable. Her sentences could be 1 word long and still bring the house down. For instance, when she and James Earl Jones guest starred on a sitcom together, she greeted him with, "Daddy!" Carrie spent her whole lifetime wielding her words like weapons. This wasn't rapier wit, but a 2-handed broadsword, accent on broad. With it she skewered, lambasted, and reproached her fellow glitterati. The world was her roast dais. She was a born-too-late member of the Algonquin Round Table, always able to make the most out of 30 seconds of attention. 1 quote at a time, she struck a devil's interval chord with people. It was her version of life advice, containing the mercy of the fallen, thoughts bitter and strong. This entire book could just be Carrie Fisher sentences, culled from her novels, memoirs, and talk show appearances. But Carrie was not at heart a comedian. She was a writer, expressing painful truths. Spoonfuls of sugar hid the medicine. For those in darkness, her passages were lodestones. Self-deprecation before self-destruction, her sister Jolie Fisher called it. It's easy to imagine why she chose to turn the pen on herself, to write funnier, more raw, meaner jokes than any tabloid scribe could. Carrie's gift, her curse, her burden, her skill was her insight. She saw herself from the very first.